Like any masterful television series, the first season of Breaking Bad lays most of the groundwork of what is to come. Walter White doesn't immediately embrace the drug world as he will later on. He does make the choice to be a part of it, but out of fear for his family's financial future once he dies of lung cancer. But as we know, this reasoning becomes less paramount as the series continues. However, there is a scene in episode 3, and the bags in the river, that truly hints at the kind of fate Walter is heading towards. His fate being one of total destruction of himself and those around him, along with the collapse of his drug empire. It's a scene so important that it begins and ends the episode. The scene where a young Walter and a young Gretchen Schwartz work together on deconstructing the components of a human chemically, cross-cut with present-day Walter and Jesse cleaning up Emilio's chemically disincorporated body. With the use of parallel editing, lighting, narrative structure, and the content of the scene from Walter's past, we learn that Walter White has never understood the human implications of his choices, leading him eventually to his fate as initiated by his decision to be a drug manufacturer. Let's analyze this subtle but important scene in combination with the significance to the rest of the episode and the series in general. If it's your first time here, my name is Quentin. I'm a writer, a teacher, and sometimes performer. It's time to look at the compelling artistry of Breaking Bad again. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos like this one. Let's get into it. To begin with, parallel editing is defined as, quote, a specific cross-cutting technique that creates a narrative parallel that the viewer may compare and contrast. The visuals will create an undeniably powerful narrative point of view through the use of editing, with both scenes next to and in between each other, end quote. This technique is meant to tell us something significant through contrast. The use of this film editing technique is very obvious right away. As Walter and Jesse are cleaning up the literal deconstruction of a human body, it's cross-cut with a scene from the past of Walter and Gretchen, as graduate students, academically deconstructing the chemical composition of a human body. As we find out later on, Walter and Gretchen were in a relationship, and at some point they broke up, and Gretchen started dating Elliot Schwartz, who Walter co-founded the future multi-billion-dollar company Grey Matter with. I often wonder if there was any indirect pressure on Gretchen and Elliot's part that Walter responded to. The answer could be somewhere in the middle, but knowing Walter's insecure ego and pride, he probably left completely on his own. In this parallel edit, the stark contrast between the intellectual curiosity of Walter's exercise with Gretchen and the grisly cleanup of Walter's first murder victim with Jesse demonstrates the lows to which Walter has stooped. He's clearly an intelligent chemist with a passion for the subject who could have co-ran a successful company devoted to the passion, but instead taught high school chemistry and got into illegal drug production. He went from exploring the chemical construction of a human being to cleaning up the chemical deconstruction of a drug dealer, all out of a final desperation for money and power. Walter and Gretchen's chemical percentages contrast with the graphic bodily gunk of Emilio, like calcium and iron, further demonstrating this contrast between the optimistic curiosity of the past and the dark reality of the present. Another thing to note is the lighting. Walter and Gretchen are both lit primarily in dark silhouettes with a bluish overlay of light, almost like it's dawn. This is supposed to be a pleasant memory, not only for the intellectual exercise, but for the fact that they're in a relationship at this time, yet they're lit in a bluish darkness rather than brighter lighting. This offers an internal contrast within the contrasting scene from the past. The content of the flashback is in opposition with the form of the flashback. The contrasting tension between this pleasant interaction and the moody lighting is our first indication that this is a formative scene in Walter White's dark fate. In addition to this, Walter is donning green in both scenes. Green represents financial greed, envy, and growth. The earthy tone of Walter's green t-shirt in the flashback communicates his potential for growth as a young graduate student, while the vibrant green of his apron in the present communicates where his envy for the success of Grey Matter has led him. We end this parallel edit with Walter insisting,
"Seems like something's missing, doesn't it? There's got to be more to a human being than that."
Certainly there are more things to human beings than basic chemistry, just as there is more to Walter than anyone, even himself, is aware of at this point. It's not until the last 2 minutes of the episode that Gretchen offers an answer to Walter's inquiry.
What about the soul?
The soul. There are many definitions and ideas of what the human soul entails, and I certainly can't comprehensively discuss them in this video essay, but essentially the soul is believed to be our individual essence beyond the constraints of our bodies. It is unique to everyone, an individual divine essence of life. This question about the human soul in the episode's narrative structure as we experience it comes right after Walter has not only revealed his cancer diagnosis to Crazy 8, but has finally mustered the courage to kill him. It's implied Walter is thinking back on that philosophical question as he sits alone in his car, probably contemplating how he got to be in this position. Now that he's killed someone in cold blood and chemically decomposed a body, he's thinking of what that says about his soul. However, I don't think he can find a satisfying answer, because there is no definition given of the soul in this episode, nor really in the entire series. The soul is just an additional inquiry after an academic exercise, never expanded upon or brought up again, though the human soul is mentioned at a pivotal moment in the prequel series Better Call Saul.
You two are soulless.
Howard calling Jimmy and Kim soulless here seems to imply that the soul is that higher moral self, the immaterial part of ourselves that knows right from wrong, especially when it comes to how we treat other people. This implied definition could be what Walter is thinking back on, though he has no way of knowing if that's what Gretchen even meant. He stopped the conversation before it could begin. He laughed off the question and flirtily but seriously responded with, "There's nothing but chemistry here," shutting down any personal or interpersonal opportunity to explore that part of himself and other human beings. It's no coincidence this flashback scene appears in the episode where Walter chooses to murder out of familial and self-preservation. The whole situation with Crazy 8 does tear him up inside, but he wouldn't be in this situation to begin with if he had maybe considered the soulful implications of his choices, both before and after his cancer diagnosis. Questions like this are more important than we realize. No matter what we do, there will be an impact on someone else, especially those we love. Walter White devoted his life to understanding the chemical matter of the world, but with this scene, it's revealed he never considered the matter of human beings and their soulful value within his life's work, or within his life in general. His hyper-focus on the chemical matter of the world and his self-induced lowly position as a high school teacher robbed him of his soul, you might say, along with the consideration for other souls in the world. Walter chose physical matters with very little consideration for human matters, which perfectly foreshadows the fate of his character. He will manipulate, abuse, murder, and intimidate whoever he needs to in order to gain egoic power and control, even family members. Being human means many things, especially in today's world, but to be human is to recognize, hopefully, other human beings beyond physical or cultural confines. If we want to feel individually valued, we must first value the common humanity in each other. But Walter White never understood that, even before these dark events. And so this forgotten scene from Breaking Bad truly seals his fate, that of the soulless Heisenberg persona. Let me know what you think of this scene in the comments. Is there any other significance to Gretchen's question? Thank you so much for watching. My Patreon is linked below if you want to support me in making these videos. Or hey, why not throw me a tip by clicking on the 3 dots below? Or become a member of the channel. You can earn some badges and get early access to videos like this one. Any amount you can afford helps a lot. Thank you. A special shout out to all of our channel members: Vermilion Star, Beatrice Paz, Coral Etkin, Adam S, and Niraj A. Thanks for the continued support. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. See you soon!